talk with us about a
Sorry about that.
hardcore freedom issue that we need to be aware of and we need to be relating to. So, Mary, take it.
Okay, hi, I'm Mary Sutton, and like I said, I'm a member of Critical Resistance and Californians United for a Responsible Budget, which is a statewide alliance fighting prison and jail expansion in California and demanding that they reduce the prison population. So did you know that there's another 1%? 1% people in the United States are in our prison and jails. So when you're talking about the 99%, subtract 1% off that and give honor to the people that are locked up. The United States has the largest prison population in the world. California has the largest prison population in the United States. And Los Angeles County, 70% of those people incarcerated in state prisons are from Southern California and Los Angeles County. Today, Los Angeles County has a $1.4 billion jail expansion project on the table. We're trying to mobilize people to the Board of Supervisors meeting on January 24th to protest this proposal. It cannot happen. LA County has 4,000 empty jail beds now that haven't been operating because of the budget crunch. So the jails are overcrowded, they're uncivilized and unhumane. Baca wants to renovate the county jail. We say shut it down. And if they do the right thing, Jerry Brown, in response to the federal court ruling to reduce the prison population by 33,000 people over the next 2 years, over last year and this coming year, the response has been to send people to private prisons out of the state. 10,000 people are in private prisons outside of California. And then to move people that have non-serious, non-violent, non-sex offense under the jurisdiction of the county. So as people are being released from prison, and they're not being released early, they will be released into the community anyway, they're under probation instead of parole. Okay? So, the county leadership, powers that be, can decide to do the same thing the state has done by continuing to lock people up, rearrest people for crossing the wrong street, throw them back in jail, and cycle people in and out of the jails, and build more jails, and fill them up double capacity. Or we can say no, take this money, put it into community services, put it into drug rehab, mental health care, housing. Do the right thing. The time is now. And because of the budget crunch, the time is now. We can put pressure on these people to do the right things. So I have flyers, I have petitions. I'd like to ask you to sign. I only have a Spanish one with me. I pulled the wrong one out of the car. But anybody can sign it. We want people. January 24th, outside of the Board of Supervisors at 9:30 a.m. There's going to be a press conference, a rally. We want people to come inside and sign up for public comment. We want to stack the meeting to say no.
Where?
The Board of Supervisors meeting is over here on 500 West Temple. And I have flyers. The website, if you go to curbprisonspending.org, that's California United for Responsible Budget website. There's lots of information. You can get updated on the situation. We also will be holding a community speak out. What was that date? February?
January 28th. No, next month. That's why it's next month. I can't remember.
In February at the Chuco Justice Center in Inglewood. So please join this struggle. It ties to everything else. You know, black and brown people of LA are being locked up. Families are losing their children. It's just out of control, and we have to stop it now. Thank you.
All right.
Mary, Occupying the Hood is 100%, 1,000% behind what you all are doing on this issue. A lot of you don't know this, but Bilal organized the families of the hunger strikers up in the shoe at Pelican Bay when they were on strike last summer. He's still working with those families. We have a very close...
We're still on strike, and because 4 people died because of the strike.
Right, and we're still working on that. this issue is very important to us. It should be important to our entire movement because when we talk about the loss of civil liberties, when we talk about the economic disparity, this is where it falls, and this is where it's leading. The industrialization of slavery through the prison system. You know, and this is what we have to fight. So, Mary, thank you. And if you all can email that to us, we will post it, repost it, repost it, repost it, repost it on our listener with Most Occupiers Lead. And we will try to help to build up and get people turned out for the 24th and for the other events too. So just keep us in touch, and email works better with us.
All right.
But we can definitely get some stuff through our email networks, Facebook and other places, and just put all your websites, et cetera, and folks will get it.
Okay,
Our folks
there'll
are
be a
usually more proficient.
link to an online petition as well as the hard copies in that email.
Cool.
Okay, thank
Do
you.
away with
Thanks for
victims of
coming
crime.
out.
All right.
Do away with victimless crime.
We have another speaker here with a relevant quote for the Occupy movement from Dr. King. Please come up. Go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King has said very many wonderful things.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Please shut the fuck up.
Hang on. Dr. King said many great things.
Dr. King
King
said
said
many great things.
Here's just one.
Here's just one.
A fifth point.
A fifth point
Concerning nonviolent resistance.
Concerning nonviolent resistance
Is that it avoids not only external physical violence,
not only external physical violence,
but also internal violence of
But
spirit.
but also internal violence of spirit.
The nonviolent resistance.
Nonviolent resistance.
Sorry, the nonviolent resistor
Nonviolent resistor
not only refuses
not only refuses
to shoot his opponent,
to shoot his opponent,
but he also refuses
to
hate him.
hate him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wondered if I could say something. I want to thank our brother Art Glass over here, who has put together some really
Woo! All right.
Sorry. Oh, we can see it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Art. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. So, with this, I do want to mention again, Monday, we're mobilizing Monday. We want all the occupiers out on Monday morning, early Monday morning, at 7 a.m. What's going to happen? You tell them. Adam.
Yes. Get over here.
Tell the people what is happening.
Give you a regular this.
Early Monday morning. What's happening early?
Early Monday morning, we are going to wake our lovely asshole-ish mayor up at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Occupying the mayor's mansion.
Damn straight. We are meeting at the Wilshire and Western L stop on the Purple Line at 7 a.m. Try to be there early, please. We are going to march to the mansion. We are going to mic check the mayor. It's beautiful, Quasi Road. It's a gorgeous thing. Then from there, we're going to go to the parade. We're going to march with the Martin Luther King Coalition.
We're going to march to the mayor's mansion in Hancock Park. We're going to wake their neighbors up. The lumber centers. We're occupying the maker. We're going to have chants. We're going to do all of that. We're going to have skits. We're calling Antonio Bill and Rigosa, who I've been on for 26 years. We came out of the same organization together, but we're calling him out about his deceitful lies about what actually happened here and occupied the raid.
Right on.
We're also going to call him out and his Democratic colleagues who audit raids in cities that Democratic mayors were in. How he conspired with the FBI, Homeland Security, and the federal government, the Obama administration, to shut down the Occupy movement. But we're not just going there to have a rah-rah session. We have demands. One of those demands is a 1-year moratorium on all foreclosures. Y'all get no hand on that?
Yeah.
Only 1 year.
You got 2 hands.
2,
All right.
a citywide rent freeze that I was beat down in city council 2 years ago. A citywide rent freeze.
Whoa!
Right? The rent's too goddamn high, remember?
65% of us live in
We're also
apartments.
demanding the ending of the SCI, Save the City Initiative, downtown, where that raid here was no big deal. They raid the homeless. I'm organizing down Skid Row. They raid the homeless like that every night.
Right.
So we want the end of the Save the City Initiative that criminalizes poverty and homelessness. And finally, and not least, we want all charges dropped against occupiers who were arrested in the raid.
And after the action at the mayor's mansion, all those who participate in that, we're asking to gather with the Martin Luther King Coalition at Martin Luther King Boulevard and Western. Hopefully you can get there by 10 o'clock. They pushed the clock back on starting the parade this year, but try to get there by 10 o'clock if possible. Okay? Now, the march itself, again, as Bilal indicated, for us, MLK Coalition speaks to the whole range of social issues, from the prisons to the schools to the unemployment problem in our community to the drug problem. You name it, we're concerned about it and we speak to it. However, we feel that it's very important this year, very important to build a baseline movement that unifies all forces in our communities as broadly as possible around one of the most essential survival issues confronting all people, and that is housing survival. So we are raising special demands this year. Special demands. Freeze on mortgage foreclosures. We want LA declared a mortgage foreclosure free zone.
Yeah.
A freeze on rent increases, particularly for those who are covered by the Rent Stabilization Act in Los Angeles. And finally, an end to the harassment, abuse, and neglect of those who've already been driven into homelessness in our community. We have got to, if we, again, I mean, and this is part of what we're talking about here tonight. If Dr. King were alive today, what would he be doing about these problems? And you know, it seems like we've had a long string of disruptions in our own ranks for a very long time. And I don't think that that's by accident. Okay? And some of it has come from the same people for quite some time. So I'm not surprised that we're getting it again tonight. Okay? But we're not going to get distracted by that, because the purpose of distraction is to get us off point. And we're going to go forward and take care of this program. I want us to hear from Brother Alberto, who is with the Community Coalition for Substance Abuse Prevention and Treatment. This organization he works with actually is the first organization I worked with when I moved to LA. At that time, Karen Bass was its director. She was the founder and director, along with her good friend, Sylvia Castillo, and they're still active, only right now they're active in Congress. But the organization goes on because it's dedicated to carrying on the fight at the ground level in our community. Community Coalition's youth group marched with our contingent last year and made a great contribution in that way, and they brought a whole contingent of youth into that process. And between their group and the marching band from the Watts Labor Community Action Center, we had a very strong youth representation in our march last year, and hopefully that will be replicated this year. So Alberto, please talk to us about what is going on with the community coalition, what you all are trying to achieve, and what the problems are that you all are wrestling with.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for having us here tonight, and thank you for the struggle you all have put forth the last few months. We were very much have been inspired by the work that you all are doing. Oftentimes, we talk to our members about movements, and we never really know if we're going to have one in our lifetime, and you all have created that. And thank you for that. So I just want to give you that love, first and foremost. Community Coalition was formed in 1990 in response to the crack epidemic and the deindustrialization of our community. The militarization of the police at that time, that continues still today. A lot of our youth were incarcerated and put into prison. A lot of folks that were dealing with the addiction issue were dealing it from the vantage point of the state level and a political level and ideological level. But there wasn't a lot of work being done on the ground with folks in the community that were on addiction, that were dealing with the crack epidemic, with their houses, with their neighbors, with schools. As the organization was formed with folks like Quasi to build a community institution that could last a long time to take on the fight. So we're here 20 years later, still alive, trying to do the most that we can. We're working on, thank you, we're working on 3 particular issues, one around prison reentry. In particular, we work with the service providers, not the big ones that get a lot of money, actually mom and pop providers. Those providers that of folks that used to be addicted, that wanted to create a storefront to help folks. So we help build their capacity, help them, give them a voice. 2, we organize youth, particularly high school students in all of South LA. At the high school level, they get engaged in issues around criminal justice, education in particular. And then we also work with the community residents of South Central to look at issues like liquor stores, vacant lots, abandoned buildings to kind of rebuild our neighborhoods. That's who we are. This year, we were inspired by the Occupy movement and decided to have our own assembly, learning from what you all have done to take that to South Central. We had a meeting with about 150 of our community members, African American and Latinos. A big part of our mission is to bring black and brown folks together in South LA. There's a lot of division created by the media, by politicians, particularly by the billionaires against our community. But we've always said that, you know what, we have much more at stake to fight together. When 80% of the homeless population is African American and Latino, when 80% of the folks in the prisons are from our community, when folks that are the majority of folks in poverty are from our community, it's senseless that we're arguing with each other. We need to be united. Our community decided to have this meeting. So we had a People Power Assembly modeled after the general assemblies that you all have been doing across the country, and it went really well. They voted on 3 things. We asked also the community, how many of y'all have been to the encampment? Not one hand went up. But we asked them, how many of you support the Occupy movement? And every hand went up. So for us, we felt like we needed to think of new models to get our community engaged. And so they voted on 3 things. 1, to occupy the MLK parade. 2, to do voter empowerment and voter engagement, which I know is a little bit controversial with the occupiers, but that's sort of where our members were. And 3, to support the work that is being done around foreclosures, abandoned buildings, and vacant lots. So our agenda for this year with the People Power Assembly is to work on those issues. Tomorrow, or on Monday, with the MLK parade, we're honored to be in coalition with MLK Coalition and with you to march at the parade. We have a bus that we've gotten, and we've had 2 weeks of making signs. I don't know if you've all seen those old pictures from the Civil Rights Movement when men were not seen as men at the time, and so they had these signs that said, I am a man, to bring dignity. Obviously, there's gender issues and all these other things, but in particular, particularly black men, felt dehumanized, so it was an opportunity to reclaim that. So what we did is, instead of it saying, I am a man, we made about 100 placards that say, we are the 99%, and we're going to be wearing those at the MLK parade.
Awesome.
We also have made huge banners with Dr. King's face, and it says, Occupy King's Dream, and huge quotes that speak to one quote in particular around the billionaires that says, you know, it's a crime to live in such a rich nation and still pay starvation wages, which is an issue that still exists today. So on Monday morning, we're gathering at King Park, which is on 39th and Western, which is a park devoted to Dr. King. We'll have a press event. I don't know if you guys will be done with your action by then, But if you are, we'd love to have someone from Occupy LA and Occupy the Hood speak on the foreclosure issue at the press event. We'll also have someone speak about immigrant rights. We'll also have the Black Worker Center speak about employment. And we'll also talk about the coalition's effort to tax the millionaires in next November to change the budget crisis in the state of California. So that's pretty much who we are. Again, thank you very much for having us. It really is an honor to be here. We have the same vision. We might not always agree on the same tactics, but at the very end of the day, we really share the same vision of creating a democracy that respects all people, regardless of where you're from, where you live, where your politics are, how you're born, whatever your sexual orientation is, whatever gender you are. I mean, that's sort of our vision we're trying to build, and we're here to build that with you. So thank you for having us tonight.
All right.
All right. And you know, Alberto, that reminds me of something that Malcolm X said the year after he left the Nation of Islam. He actually was in a period of trying to develop a working relationship with Dr. King, who he had had a very critical relationship with for a long time. And he said, you know what? If our goals are the same, we shouldn't fall out over the differences that we use in tactics and methodology.
Yes.
We're all about the same things. So, you know, I mean, and definitely our feeling is that on the march on Monday in particular, the broadest possible unity is what we want to work toward. This fight around the mortgage foreclosures, the fights around the prison transfer, the fights around all the critical issues are much bigger than any of the groups that currently exist. None of us have enough force to take that rock off our back, but if we get together, we can move that rock. So thank you so much for you and the other representatives from Community Coalition. Thank you for coming out tonight on a chilly night on short notice. You know, I mean, it was a little daunting even for some of our occupiers, although they're a little tired because we've all been running around from action to action in the past couple of weeks. We've had a lot of action on the foreclosure fight in this town. Yesterday, we had 3 actions in one day, back to back to back, and they all went very, very well. So, you know, keep at it, occupiers, Community Coalition, stay with it. We support what you're trying to get done in our communities, and we wish to work as closely as we possibly can on whatever issues we have unity on so we can maximize our impact. So thank you for coming out.
All right.
And thank you for you know,
Can I say one sentence?
a united contingent with us. Go ahead, brother.
I just wanted the other lesson that Community Coalition has learned from the Occupy movement is that for so long we've been focusing on all these politicians when the real enemy has been the billionaires. And we've been motivated by that. We really want to unite with you around how we go after the billionaires that have been exploiting our communities for so long. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the real enemy for us is those billionaires that control them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, who has another quote to read? Another quote. John.
Sarah.
Another relevant quote from Dr. King. Thank
It's
you.
a non-voting theme assembly.
Message to our movement. Go
Oh,
for it.
and that's what we do on Saturday.
The deep rumbling
Yeah.
of discontent that we hear today is the thunder of the disinherited masses, rising from dungeons of oppression to the bright hills of freedom.
By
In what
Occupy the Hood.
majestic chorus, the rising masses singing the words of our freedom song. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. All over the world, like a fever.
I loved
the freedom
Anthony's proposal.
movement
I think that
is
was a great
spreading in
debate.
The widest liberation in history. The great masses of people are determined to end the exploitation of their races and land. They are awake and moving toward